What's up, guys? Welcome to gwhisky. My name is Jeff. This is a channel where I offer my thoughts and opinions on a specific whiskey, and if you stick around to the end, I'll be giving it a score as well. If that sounds interesting, hit subscribe down below. And with that out of the way, let's jump into our review. Today we're looking at the Ileach Cask Strength. Stick around. So we're looking at another mystery malt today. I've got the Ileach Cask Strength with me. This is a single malt. It's from Islay, but we don't know where it's from. We don't know what distillery it was sourced from. It's all very hush-hush. It's very secretive. We can only hope that someday the truth comes to light. Probably just Kalila. This is one I picked up pretty recently after trying and really enjoying the Finlaggan Cask Strength. Finlaggan is kind of like the sister brand to Ileach. They're both owned by the Vintage Malt Whiskey Company. And yeah, it was a really good whiskey. It was well priced, it was delicious, it was dynamic, and I was impressed. Thing is, I was a little bit more hesitant to pick this one up because I have actually had it before. Now, the last time I had it was like 8, 9, 10 years ago. It was forever ago. And this is back when it was rumored to be Lagavulin in the bottle. And whether it was Lagavulin or not, I didn't like the whiskey. I thought it was too young. I thought it was too hot. I thought it was too sharp. It wasn't for me at all. But this one has been recommended by a few of you. And, 10 years have passed. I'm sure the whiskey is different 10 years on. I certainly am. And yeah, there's not too much to talk about here. We never get too much information when it comes to these kinds of whiskeys, these mystery malts. It is from Islay. It's peated. It's cask strength. I assume there's some sherry casks involved here, but beyond that, really not that much to say. I'm coming into this with some very cautious optimism. Let's find out. Let's jump into our review. And in the meantime, if you can kindly leave a like down below, that'd be greatly appreciated. All right, for our specs, we've got a whopping 58% here, just like the Finlaggan Cask Strength. Now, I'm going to assume that this is non-chill filtered just because it is such a high ABV, and that wouldn't make much sense. If you check sites like Whiskey Base, it says it is chill filtered. They're not always to be trusted. I am going to give these guys the benefit of the doubt, but really, we don't know. For color, we do know that this is a colored whiskey, unfortunately, but let's keep in mind that it's also a budget whiskey. It is extremely cheap, so we have 1, possibly 2 out of 3 here. Fine. All right, so we do have a pretty generous amount of caramel colorant in there. As for the bottle, I do like this better than the Finlaggan bottle, but it's not a love. It's, I guess, a smart enough look. A simple color scheme, white, blue, gold accents, double label. It's all fine. I don't really have any strong feelings about it. We'll give it 3 out of 5 for presentation. So not a lot of information here. There's nothing about being chill filtered. It does tell us in German that this is a colored whiskey, and yep, it sure is. Really not a lot of information. Look is okay. Bottles, whatever. So I did add water here. Let's try our nose. Peat, smoke, citrus, lemons, oranges, limes, tarmac, menthol, rubber. This is a pretty simple, kind of young, straightforward smoky nose. Nothing off-putting. It's okay. Now for the palate. Okay. Loud, sweet, a little bit young. We have smoke, we have brine, peat, earth, there's salt, red fruits, black currant, and cherry syrup. Now our finish. Okay, still sweet. Rubber, lime, tar, definitely some meaty, like burnt meat notes in here. There's minerals, there's blackcurrant jam, there's black tea, Earl Grey tea, and more of that cherry syrup. Medium to long finish. So when you buy this kind of whiskey, the first thing you're signing up for is big, loud, peaty flavors, and we do have that here. This one is a full-blown blast of flavor. It's peaty, it's smoky, it's fruity, it's intense, it's punchy. But if you're looking for like nuance or subtlety, first off, why are you looking for nuance or subtlety in a whiskey like this? You won't find much. What surprised me with this stuff is just how sweet it is. It's way sweeter than I thought it would be. It's a lot fruitier too. As soon as it hits the tongue, you get hit with these like thick caramels, these thick, fruity, jammy notes, and it's funny, they're almost as intense, almost as dominant as the peat and the smoke itself. Speaking of the peat, it is here, it's big, not much in the way of complexity, not that I really expected any, but you do have the phenolic notes, the mineral notes, the rubber notes. I especially like the tea notes in here, I think those are pretty good, but I guess I'm spoiled. Like, I want more depth, more layers, more complexity than what we're getting here. It's a decent whiskey, but it's pretty basic. Both the peaty notes and the sweeter notes in here are pleasant, but they're simple and they're one-dimensional. Like, when you try and look past the big, obvious, louder flavors, there's not much going on underneath the surface. So I would describe the entire experience as, yeah, pleasant, but superficial. Now, to its credit, this one is better than the one I had like 10 years back. That one I remember being very young, hot, sharp. It had that cardboardy note. To be fair, it did set the bar pretty low. This one, it is young. It tastes young, but a lot of those rougher edges have been kind of like smoothed over, probably because they were just playing around with casks a little bit more, using some more active casks, whatever. So yeah, smoother and rounder than back when I first tried it. Now, thing about this whiskey is that it is a very cheap, it's a very affordable whiskey. We'll talk about value a little bit later on, but when you have something this affordable, it's naive to think you're going to get like a top tier Islay experience. Obviously you won't. But with this whiskey, you are getting the flavors you signed up for. It is a cask strength, intense, peaty blast. If you're okay with sweeter Islay whiskeys, which not all of you are, better still for you, you should get along with this stuff. Taken as an affordable whiskey that's meant to be sipped casually, despite the high ABV, it's not bad. It does what it's supposed to do, but speaking personally, it's not my preferred style. I don't love it. I'm going to score it an 82. I think this is too sweet. I think it's too one-dimensional. And here's the thing, for just a few dollars or pounds more, you can buy the Ileach Cask Strength, which I think is just a much more interesting, engaging, dynamic whiskey. It's just a better overall experience. So I think if this is the kind of style that you typically enjoy, and if you temper your expectations, and if you're just not a snob like I am, you might be okay with this one. It is a decent, affordable sipper with big flavors, and really that's all you can expect for the price. So despite my low score, I think there are going to be plenty of you out there who do get along with this one. So when it comes to value, I think this one is okay. It's not terrible. It's not particularly good. Here in Taiwan, it's much cheaper than it sells for in the West, so I feel less bad about it. But for the price in the West, the problem is that it's too close to other better things. It's too close to the Finlagen Cask Strength. Just a few pounds more. It's just a better whiskey, a more engaging experience, so I would recommend that one first. And even if you take Finlagen out of the equation, I think for the price, there are better options out there, but could be worse. All right, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to help support the channel, please consider becoming a patron. Otherwise, you can like, comment, and subscribe. That is always appreciated. And of course, I do want to hear from you. Have you tried the Ileach Cask Strength? What were your thoughts? Finally, down below in the comments, let me know what you want to see me review next, and I'll keep it in mind for my upcoming videos. Bye, guys.